Alright guys, welcome. Thank you very much for joining me in this video. So today in this video we're going to take a look at the energy markets. We're going to look at the latest that's going on with politicians, what they bought, who it was, and what exactly they bought. We're going to jump over to the European energy market, some important things we want to look at. We're going to bounce over to JD, the Chinese stock. We're going to bounce over at JP Morgan. We're going to go back to the energy stocks. We're going to go over to the Federal Reserve and back to the energy stocks. So let's get started with this video, guys. All right, uncertainty spikes in oil markets as Israel goes to war with Hamas, right? So we do have uncertainty. In fact, look, the war with Israel isn't going to end anytime soon. They had, I think yesterday, cut off electricity and water, right? It's a strategic tactical move. You know, you weaken the enemy, deprive them of water and electricity and all that. They started bombing buildings and all that stuff. That bombing of buildings is in preparation for a land offensive with troops going into Gaza, which is going to be insane because Gaza is, first of all, the lives are going to be lost. I mean, think about that. And all for what? You know what? For what? Think about it. For what? Let me just say my mind, all right? Let me speak my mind. Where have the United Nations been for decades? Where have they been? This could have been solved for a long time, right? Long ago, could have been solved. I don't know. Okay, so we're going into this long offensive, which is going to affect the markets in the sense of what will everybody else in the energy chess game do? United States, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Russia, China, everybody. There's going to be a lot of things we're going to see, things we can't even predict. In the energy markets, it's the most, it's the hardest market to predict, guys. Warren Buffett said, and I believe him, because it's not, you know, oh, the stock is, you know, undervalued, it's, you know, or overvalued. Here's their financial data. They're affected by political decisions, and politicians, you know, all right, they can be crazy. All right, so with that being said, let's go on. WTI crude at 86, Brent at 87, and Morban crude at 89. That's what it is right now. Slightly full. It's just a slight decrease. Scared a lot of people off, I think. And had some people tell me, you know what, Mike, I had some call options and all that. What should I do? Like I said, energy markets are extremely hard to predict. I wouldn't go with options in the oil markets. Personal opinion. I'd rather pick an oil stock. Yeah, ExxonMobil, MRO, Marathon. Who else is good? I like BP, slow mover though, extremely slow mover. It's frustrating, but it is a good stock. Oil and defense, latest developments in war between Israel and Hamas. Defense stocks, look at that. All right, let's pay attention. This is very important. Guys, pay attention to this. All right, before Hamas attacked Israel, let me repeat this one more time. Before Hamas attacked Israel, before the world or anyone even thought or, you know, saw this coming, Israel, the last country, you know, Israel didn't even see it coming. Before that happened, our politicians over at Washington, D.C. bought energy stocks and defense stocks. Our politicians over at Washington, D.C. bought energy stocks, defense stocks, cybersecurity stocks. I mean, it's okay. It drives you insanely, like it drives me mad, guys. This is crazy. How the heck? I mean, it's not like they're poor. I mean, they're already rich as it is. All right. Next time we vote for politicians, it probably shouldn't even matter if they're what they even stand for. It's like, you know, you should ask, hey, what stocks are you buying? All right. Defense stocks surged on Monday as U.S. began delivering munitions to Israel with Northrop Grumman, L3 Harris, Huntington Ingalls, Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics finishing the session as the top 5 gainers in the S&P 500. Surprise! The top 5 gainers in the S&P 500. And the politicians over Washington, D.C. bought these stocks before the Hamas attack. All right, let's look at that. Unusual Wells, breaking. This came out like 3 days ago on Unusual Wells. Breaking, Congress has been buying war stocks. Many bought defense company GD, General Dynamics. Numerous Republicans bought heavy into oil, ExxonMobil, Devon Energy, Chevron. Democrats bought cybersecurity, FTNT. And you can look at that. Michael Patrick Guest, House, Mississippi, bought ExxonMobil. Kevin Hearn, ExxonMobil. This was a dividend reinvestment. Robert Whitman, ExxonMobil. Who else? Let's see here. Kevin Hearn, Devon Energy. Kevin Hearn again, Devon Energy. Mr. Kevin Hearn has been busy buying those oil companies. Michael McCall, FTNT, the cybersecurity company, Louis Franco, GD, General Dynamics, and much more. Now let's go over to the energy markets, guys, and we're going to focus on some parts of the European Canadian markets. That's very important. Germany's embattled utility giant Uniper is preparing to sell its German district heating business, having hired Rothschild to run the transaction and eyeing $400 million from the deal. Canada's oil major Suncor Energy, ticker symbol SU, trading on the New York Stock Exchange, agreed to buy 31% stake of Total Energies in the Fort Hills oil sands mine for $1.07 billion, which will add, guys, 61,000 barrels per day. All right, shares of Chinese stocks are trading higher amid stimulus. I don't know if anyone have heard about this, but there is a new stimulus package that came out and was announced. It was announced by China today, by the Chinese government, after the previous stimulus packages failed to stimulate the economy. So shares of Chinese stocks are trading higher amid stimulus hopes following a report suggesting China is considering raising its budget deficit for 2023. And that brings us over to JD.com, ticker symbol JD. You're looking at a screenshot here of a video that I had done this morning. And I talked about JD and I said it was $29.23, and now it is a buy in my opinion. Well, right now as I'm doing the video, JD is at $30.18. It's already up. JP Morgan analyst sees energy super cycle with oil as high as $150. It would seem that the energy markets would see the oil prices go much higher as we get into the winter and so on. But then you have the Biden administration, which came out today saying that they're working on making sure that the oil doesn't go higher than $60 a barrel, which is, I don't know, we'll see. It sounds a little too crazy, but Tuesday, October 10, 2023, the rapid escalation of the military conflict between Israel and Palestine's Hamas allowed oil prices to regain some of the lost ground from last week, with ICE Brent adding almost $4 per share. OPEC, here's interesting, OPEC, Iran is a member of OPEC. OPEC raises oil demand outlook. Now, this is going in contradiction with what the IEA has forecasted for the future, right? But it's not in contradiction with what Warren Buffett said. Warren Buffett did say that the world will demand and will require more oil, and that people who think that oil is going to go away are wrong. Well, in its recently published 2023 World Oil Outlook, OPEC defied IEA calls to abandon fossil fuels and raised its world demand forecast, expecting peak demand by 2045 at 116 million barrels per day, which is a whopping 6 million barrel per day increase. Exxon Pioneer deal hard to derail, and Fed's Bostic says we don't need to increase rates anymore. He says if things come in differently from my outlook, we might have to increase rates, but that's not my current outlook. So we'll see. It would be nice if he's right. Russia lifts ban on diesel exports. So following Friday's announcement that Russia would lift the ban on most diesel exports, the world's top seaborne exporter of the fuel has resumed full-blown port operations. European Union set to launch Chinese steel anti-subsidy probe. Israel shuts largest field amidst hostilities. So Israel has suspended operations at the Tamar offshore gas field operated by U.S. major Chevron. So with all that being said, guys, you can see that the energy markets are all over the place. They're going to be all over the place. It's going to be insane. It's going to also depend heavily on political decisions. Oil is a tough market to predict, but in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I think that oil is going to be up and down. It's going to stress some people out, but at the end of the day, it's going to end up going 95, 96 for sure. Now we're getting there, but I think we're going to get there, right? So that's my opinion. When? Probably within the next 6 months. I wish you guys all the best and take care.